up guys, I'm Millie and welcome to my YouTube channel. So as you guys saw from the title of the video, we are going to be talking about youth in this generation. So the reason why I said we is because I'm going to be joined by my two sisters. So I'm just going to be asking them about their views and their opinions on what they think Christian teenagers are facing nowadays. Because we really felt like I think it's getting harder. We think it's getting harder and harder for teenagers, especially Christian teenagers, to express themselves and express their faith, just because it's just, I think society has built this kind of image of how you should be, and I think the world is also at the same time throwing a lot of things towards them in terms of like there's just so much temptation, expectation, peer pressure, comparison, that I think is just getting harder and harder to connect with God, just because there is so much that the world is showing to them that it's harder to maintain that journey with God and trying to keep up to, I guess, up to speed with your Christian life and your Christian walk and reading your Bible and praying and all of that. So let's get started. This is Mela, and I'm just going to be asking her about what her thoughts and points of view is on what she thinks Christian teenagers are probably facing right now, and share a bit about her experience being in school and being a youth. So what do you think Christian teenagers are struggling with right now, would you say?
Who they surround themselves with, purely because your friends are very important to you when you're a youth. They're very important to you,
Right.
They can influence a lot of things that you do. They can influence the way that you speak, the way that you act. Everything can be influenced by your friends, because you're constantly with them, you're constantly around them. So what you see them doing, you're thinking, oh, it's okay that I can do it as well. But as Christians, as a Christian youth, I've learned to try and separate myself from people who will benefit me spiritually, people who I believe that God has blessed into my life. Don't get me wrong, I have non-Christian friends, and I'm sure all you guys do as well, but it's I feel like it's important that if you want to be serious with your relationship with God, you've got to surround yourself with people who also want to have that strong relationship with God, and will push you, and you guys can push each other. I mean, being a Christian is not boring. It's actually not boring, guys. Like we're just like any other teenagers, but obviously we have restrictions, and you'll find other ways to have fun rather than just drinking or doing all of this, smoking, all of that. You will find other ways to have fun, and there's a lot more. You can find fun ways to do than going out, and it's not. I love being Christian, man. Christian's sick.
Yeah, the restrictions, I think when people look at Christianity, sometimes they think, oh, you just have like rules and stuff that you need to follow. I remember being in school and someone asked me, you're a Christian, aren't you? And I was like, yeah. And then they were like, how do you do it? Don't you have to like follow rules and stuff? Like how do you stick with them? But honestly, like we all slip up, we all make mistakes, and like the restrictions, it's not really restrictions unless you make them a restriction. Like it's just a part of life that, you know, God has put out these stuff for us to do and not to do because he loves us and he wants us to have the best life that we can. And one of them is like friendship. Like surround yourself with people that are wise. And that doesn't mean like, oh, tell like people, you know, your friends that who don't believe, like, yeah, sorry, see you later. No, like you can have non-Christian friends, because you never know, you could be like a light in their life, you could influence them in a good way, as much as like you being surrounded by your Christian friends, like you influence each other in a good way, you build each other up and you push each other towards God. And it might be like a different push with your non-Christian friends, but you can definitely be that light in their life. You can definitely be like a positive and a good influence in their lives. Always remember to trust God and look to God and try and remember God's teaching, because you don't want to be so caught up in the world that you forget your creator. Like the youth, there's a Bible passage I'm gonna find and I'll put it on the screen, but it talks about being in your youth, not forgetting, your creator. So it's fine to enjoy youth, it's fine to have non-Christian friends, it's fine to have Christian friends, but just be wise and be careful in the way you're being influenced, and always return back to God and always remember your what you've been taught. Yeah. So this is my other sister, Kinney, and I'm okay, so I'm just gonna ask you the same question that I asked Mela. So what do you think, like in your opinion, Christian teenagers are finding hard nowadays, like in this generation and on their walk with God?
I think expressing themselves or expressing ourselves is one of the main things, because nowadays there's so many arguments between science and religion, and when those arguments come up, like us being the youth, we're still learning. Like we're still learning more about the Bible, and we can't
100%.
exactly answer every question that they've got.
Yeah.
So that's just putting pressure on us. And also it's like when certain things come up and we try to give our views on it, but our religious views on it, it's like we're being turned down, or it's like we're just being denied straight away, because nowadays people want to believe what they see.
Right, it's like you need evidence.
Yeah. So it's like with that, it's like we can't really express ourselves, like who we really are, because there's always going to be that second thought in our mind saying, oh, they're just going to turn us down, there's no point on speaking up if we're just going to be rejected. So we tend to just keep it to ourselves, which isn't really the best thing, but like in this age it's like what it's led to.
Yeah.
And also with that, it's like we're losing. The more we get shut down, the more we keep in, is the more we're losing ourselves as like the youth. For youth, in order to be like, oh yeah, keep thriving, you'd want to share it with someone who has the same interest, which in a way you guys are hyping each other up about them and stuff. So it's like when you're not able to do that, you're just like, all your energy is going like down.
So you have no one to like, you almost feel alone.
Yeah.
Because you have no one to share it with.
And it's like, you just feel lost.
Yeah.
And that's what most people, most teenagers are. They're just lost because they don't have anyone to talk to.
Right.
Because they don't know who's going to listen.
Yeah. Yeah, I definitely agree with what you said, because I think it's such a common thing. I think a lot of youths are in a position where, they're almost like a lone wolf. Like you'll find yourself in that position where you're the only Christian and you're the only one that has this faith, and it can get really hard because you can so easily get influenced by your friends and by the people around you. And I think at the same time it can be also a way you can like stray away from God and I guess your faith a little bit.
Another thing is that I think it's in a way best for you for like a youth to really talk about their views and everything, because the more you talk about it, the comfortable you're going to get, and the more comfortable you're going to get, the more your friends are going to realize that what you're doing like is serious to you in a way.
Yeah, and guys, it's not an easy topic to like bring up to your friends, you can't just be sat around and be like, oh yeah, Jesus. It's not an easy topic, and we've both experienced that. But it's okay if you're not like talking about God constantly, especially at this age, because you're still learning and you just don't know, like, God can give you an opportunity where you can start talking to your friends about God. And
it's good that in a way when God gives you that window of opportunity to talk about it with your friends, it's good that you take it, because you're taking that first step, and you never know, down the line that friend that you're talking about Jesus to could then start believing.
Yeah, or it could just influence them in a positive way. Like you've planted the seed and you just wait for God to let it grow. Yeah, but I think that's definitely like, I like what you said earlier, and I think, but also at the same time, you could be like, you know, the only Christian in the school, and you might be someone who doesn't get influenced so easily, and that's great. But use that, you know, be that positive influence to the people around you, to your friendship group, to your teachers, to your family, to your friends outside of school. Like, be that light in their lives, and just really use God and let God use you as well. Yeah, I think, yeah, so we hope that you guys enjoyed that little part of the video. This is going to be part 1. We're probably going to do a part 2, maybe a few more videos down the line, and I'm going to get a few of my friends in the videos so they could share a bit about their views and also a bit about their experiences as well. So we hope that you guys enjoyed the video. This took so long to film, but we got there in the end, and we enjoyed it as well. Please like and subscribe, comment down below as well if you have any questions, or if there's
Also,
anything,
like for a part 2.
yeah, comment down below if you have any questions, or if there's anything that you want me to make a video of, and I will try to do that. So have a blessed day and have a blessed week ahead as well. Peace.
Bye guys.